Alrighty. God, am I gonna begin every video with alrighty? Alrighty then. Well, you know what time it is. Time to do that there Dark Souls 3 tier list. I haven't done one of these tier lists in a minute, but I figured it was time to do them. I'm gonna do Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne. I'm gonna drop those pretty quickly. And then after that, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to skip over Sekiro because I never played Sekiro. And I wouldn't want to be disingenuous by, looking at all the bosses being fought and pretending that I know how hard they are. I'm sure they are. I'm sure, I will play that one day, just not anytime soon. Um, but anyways, let's go ahead and just get on with it. Let's see what we got first. Aldrich, huh? Oh man, Aldrich is lore-wise very interesting. The fact that he devoured Gwendolyn and he's a god devourer. Um, methinks the fight itself was kind of annoying more than it was fun. But overall, he wasn't incredibly hard. I think I'm comfortable starting this off with the B tier. You know, I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit, just so the people can see. Oh yeah, there we go. Yep, Aldrich going in the B tier. Yorm? Oh man, I I think I gotta put him in A. I would want to put him in S, but his whole boss fight is super trivialized if you use the storm sword or what, I forget what the name of the sword is called, but the fact that he's Sigmire, Katarina's friend, and the fact that his backstory is super sad. He's one of the lords of Cinder that when he lit the flame, the giant soul isn't compatible in doing it, and so all the people that loved him and looked up to him and treated him as a lord, they all got burned. Oh, it was super sad. His backstory is so sad. And I think that's what makes him at least B tier just for just straight lore, and I think A tier because uh he's a really coolly designed like boss. Like he's not like the regular giants throughout the series that are just, big guy that whacks you. He actually has a weapon. He had people like him. And technically if you're counting Dark Souls 2 in the timeline, he overcame the prejudice of people versus giants due to Nassandra's, crimes that she did to the giants. So yeah, I think Yorm's up there in A. You know what else I think is in A tier? Dancer of the Boreal Valley. Because I mean, first off, she design-wise is so cool with the little veil, her weapons, her unique attacks and everything, and the fact that she was literally a dancer, but I think it's speculated that she also might be a lord's daughter or something like that. I don't know if it's actually true. I think it's more of, the speculation that she was a lord's daughter who was a dancer who was taught how to fight. Yeah, she is super dope. Very frustrating. That fight is uh, definitely not an easy one if you're not prepared or if it's your first time fighting. It's gonna definitely take you a couple tries before you beat her. If you beat her first try, you never played Dark Souls 3. Hell, even in any of the Dark Souls games, you're probably not going to beat her first try usually. It'd be a very lucky run, but yeah, I think she's super interesting. She definitely belongs in A tier. That's about it for that. Um, Saros, Big Booty Judy. I don't think he's very like. No, wait. Osiris is Oh, he's the one with the baby. He's the one always cradling his kid and everything. He's kind of like a dumb like one step down from Ludwig from Bloodborne. Sorry, I was thinking of Vort over here. Big Booty Judy. We'll get to him later though. Oh, Saros. Oh, I know his story is super sad too. Oh man, he was a tough fight. And like I just love the whole time is he's just a consumed king. Like he was consumed by grief and everything like that. And he's kind of like Seath in a way too, with just like how he looks, like his like light whitish body and everything like that. Um, and he's a boss that actually talks and stuff. Like a lot of these other bosses don't really. I mean, who here talks besides Lothric, Sister Freed, Gale? Like none of these other guys say anything. Not even Pontiff Sullivan, which you know would be cool if he did. And you know what? He is actually kind of like is if Seath and like one of the beasts from Bloodborne were kind of like fused together. But yeah, you know what? I think I'll put him up there. I might change this later at the end, but we gotta keep rolling. Gundyr. Ooh. I think regular Gundyr deserves to be in B because this dude is just straight. Oh man, but I don't want to put him in C. I feel like he's better than a C tier, definitely a D tier. He's definitely better than that. I think he's a little further up there, mainly because he's just a straight warrior, and then you have to go back in time to fight Primal here, Primal Gundyr. Yeah, I think this is where I want to put him. I forget his backstory. I think it's something like he's definitely a. Oh, what was it? I can't remember right now. It's probably something with like keeping the Ashen ones down so that they don't rise up. But yeah, I think I'm gonna put him there. I think that's fine for right now. Dragon Slayer armor. I love this dude. He's super simple. I think he deserves to be next to Gundyr. He's just a standard boss. Uh, he can definitely beat you down. He's not impossible to win against. The shield's kind of annoying, but hey, he's just a standard boss, you know. And his weapon is super like strong. For any of you that ever seen like a speed run, I think sometimes they'll use his axe because that lightning axe does a lot. So, all right, Prince Lothric. Oh man, I don't know what it is about the Lothric brothers. I really don't like them. Like, I don't know what it was. It just doesn't feel like. I don't know. It just feels kind of unceremonious when you get to them. I barely know who they are. I don't really like their personality. I guess if you think about it, they're kind of like oh, it's, it's Elden Ring spoilers. If you don't want to hear spoilers, close your ears for the next couple of seconds. This is to do with the DLC. I'm gonna count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I guess this is just pre uh, Radon, the final boss, and oh god, now I'm forgetting the name of the demigod. Not Godric. What's her name's brother? Millennia's brother. Mikola. Mikola and Radon. This is just pre-Mikola and Radon. That's all it is. Anywho, uh, spoiler over. Thank you. I just I didn't like the fight. Their lore is probably more interesting, but I don't know. I just don't like them. Let's see here. Ancient Wyvern. Just like the regular Wyvern? I'd put that at C tier. I might change Lothric. He probably doesn't deserve to be down here because if I remember correctly, I mean he still was like a super strong candidate to light the fire, and he just said, "Nah, I ain't doing that." That's all I can remember is that he was like, I'm not doing any of that." And I think he beat up the twin demon princes and everything too. So okay, we might move him later, but we'll focus on this. Nameless King, we gotta put him in A tier. The Nameless King is such a. First off, the fight is definitely hard. All right, definitely a hard fight. The lore, speculation behind him, I think makes him more interesting than B tier because it's supposedly like Gwen's lost son, right? The third son that he never talked about, but it was speculated that he tossed that son away. And not only that, I just like the fight itself is so crazy. You fight on this just plane of like cloud or dust or whatever. Dude has lightning moves. He just rides in on a wyvern. Like I think it's awesome. Unfortunately, he kills said wyvern, but then he turns to you and just oh my god. He's got drip for days too. That dude has mad drip. So, yeah, and overall I just like the ambiguity of his name too. It's not the other ones are just oh Dragon Slayer armor could be anybody, but Nameless King. Yeah. All right. Next one, Soul of Cinder. Oh, this one might be a little controversial. I mean, I think he's B tier, right? The reason why I think he's B tier is I think it's just a ending. I didn't think you needed to really fight anybody in the end. Like I feel like after, I mean, obviously you're always gonna fight somebody, But the Soul of Cinder is not somebody I would have expected to be the very last boss of the entire game. You know, barred DLC bosses. But like the end game, the main path end game boss. I would have thought it to be Gwyn Reborn or something along those lines. The final, the final thing that Gwyn's reign finally put to an end. I didn't think it'd just be the Soul of Cinder, which, I mean, what is the Soul of Cinder? Who is the Soul of Cinder? If it is just a single who, if it's not a single who or what is the Soul of Cinder? Is it just the past all coming to that? Is it just a body of armor with the souls of multiple people? You know, it's that makes it more interesting than anything. That's what would probably put him over an A tier, but it's just a I don't know. It's just not that crazy of a fight to me. Sure, he pulls out a lot of attacks, but it's also just kind of an easy fight at that point too. Whether it be by it probably is not even by design. I wouldn't think. Maybe it is. Maybe it is by design. I don't know. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to put him down there, just for now. We'll redo all of these once we set them. Maybe. Index Gundy. Um, boy, it'd be kind of insulting to put him on the same as regular Gundyr. But it was like it's so surprising because like one, the first boss of the game, you didn't expect him to be right there, right out the gate, ready to fight you, right? And it's Gundyr, so it's his move set. So and then all that fighting you're doing after you pulled the sword out of him, you're like, oh god, this guy's got some moves. Then you get him down to is it the halfway point or like the like 1/3 of his health? All of a sudden he transforms into this hideous beast thing, and you're just like caught off guard, and you're like, whoa, what the heck? Yeah, I think he deserves to be there, and I think we'll move Soul of Cinder up to we'll move him up here a little bit so it's not as offensive. He's definitely not better than regular Gundyr, and I think we'll fill something in the B slot past Index Gundyr, but for now I'll keep him right there. Sister Freed. Boy, do I put her in S tier or do I put her in A tier? I think I think everyone's expecting Sister Freed to be S tier, and I see why. She has a very just she has the painted world. Once again back in the snowfield. She ain't no regular missus. She has an intense boss fight, a 3-part boss fight is crazy. Just when I killed her, or when I first defeated her, I couldn't even believe it. It took me a lot of tries, not the craziest amount of tries, but it took me a lot of tries to beat her. I was so relieved from having done like just being done with her. I took a break from the game for like a week. I was like, all right, I think I'm good. But yeah, that was such a crazy fight. Just her base form, and then her and Bojangles is what I used to call him. And he'd come and slap me with his stupid uh, pot. I'd be like, ah, come on, Bo. Why you gotta do that to me? Can you just can you just go in peace? And then you make him go in peace, and then he powers her up and she revives once again. I'm like, no, please stop this already. I'm already dead. God, it was so frustrating. But then her lore, oh my God, if I remember correctly, Uh, oh man, what's Sister Freed's lore? Maybe I should have looked that up before doing this video. But I wanted to try to do this off memory. Wasn't she supposed to be like a fire keeper at one point? I know she has a couple sisters or something like that. Oh man, I can't. I just know she's in the Painted World of Ariandel, and we've gone to that world like 3 times. We went there for Priscilla. We went there for what was it in Dark Souls 2? Ah, God, I hope it wasn't all that. No, it wasn't. It wasn't with the uh, Burnt Ivory King. I don't think he's in Ariandel. That would be horrible. He's the only boss well, I mean, boy, I don't even like talking about Dark Souls 2 or its DLC. But I don't think that place was called Ariandel. At least I hope not. But the Burnt Ivory King was great. But yeah, Sister Freed, super awesome boss with a scythe, with some flashy moves. Um, yeah, I just like her. I just like her a lot. I don't think there's anybody who will ever argue against putting her in A and S tier. But as soon as I look up some lore after this video is done, I'll be like, ah, yes, I placed her exactly where I should have. Great Wolf. I mean, it's just a wolf. If this was Dark Souls 1 and we were talking about Sif, hey, maybe it'd be an S tier, A tier, wherever I put Sif at. But nope. The Demon Prince. Ooh, the Demon Prince. Boy, that fight was super tough. I think this will be. Oop, jeez. I think this will be fine right here. The twin demon princes that turn into one was super crazy fight. I have a lot of funny clips from that one that I don't think I have anymore because Xbox did that thing where they stopped having clips being on your hard drive and stuff. So that made me super sad that I lost that clip. But there's been a couple clips where my friend and I went to go fight him when we did the co-op together, and every time he dropped in, I swear to you, he would get killed instantly by the demon princes because the area you land in, they're already attacking or doing their special moves right through there. And even if he timed it in a way where they were supposed to be done with their attack, as soon as he would land, they would attack him. It was probably the funniest clips I ever had. But yes, the Demon Prince, and I think he's like the last of demon kind after, the old king, the old demon king down there. But yep, I think he's pretty cool. Uh, anyways, Half-Light. Everybody hates this fight. I hate this fight. This is definitely D tier. This fight's stupid. I don't even understand it lore-wise, if there is lore. I hate that when I fought it, it messed up my fight for mid-ear because it didn't give me a summon to help me with the mid-ear fight. Yeah, no. You stay down there. Alright, now for a very difficult choice. Um, Mid-ear was the hardest boss I fought throughout the entire Dark Souls 3 game. He is still probably one of the hardest bosses I've ever fought in a video game. I mean, there's not a lot that comes to mind that are harder than, or if I had like a top 10, he would definitely be up there. He might even be in the top 5. I mean, this dude was nuts to try and beat. It's probably partially my fault too. Uh, Mainly because I went like stupid build. I didn't pay attention to builds or anything back then. I mean, I still really don't, but uh, I decided to go hammer because I thought hammers were funny. And boy, does he resist hammers. And boy, even if he didn't resist hammers, I think I eventually went to the gut sword to beat him because it had a stab move. And I had so much pine resin. I think I had like I farmed as much gold pine resin as possible to give me lightning buff. Is it pine resin? I forgot what it's called. Oh my lord. Doing that fight kills me till this day to even watch. When I see people just win it during their speed runs or anything like that, I kind of have like a second hand catharsis. Alright, but enough about ranting about Midir. Where would I place him? I would place him in S for just the fact that he's closest to the ancient dragons. I don't want to disrespect him by putting in B because he shoots lasers and stuff and fire and he's super tough. But it kills me to put him at A. But I think I will put him at A because he is really dope looking boss. He's probably the closest to the ancient dragons. And as hard as he was to fight, it does bring the memories in of me fighting him and how BS it was to fight him every single time. So I think I think I'll accept that he's at A tier for this very reason. Now Gale's interesting. I I don't know a super ton about Gale himself other than he is like the last representation or he wants your Dark Soul. That's all I know about Gale is that he wants your Dark Soul. He also fought all those lords at the table. He's the last of the pygmies or something. That's all I remember. But I don't know. I feel like he's super. He's either when people talk about him, I feel like I never get like a straight idea about who Gale is. I think it's almost like as if Gale's a concept more than he is a character. But he's there. He's there as a character, and he does fight you, which I think is crazy. Uh, but I know he ties all of Dark Souls together, just him as a person. But yeah, and then when you go into his boss room, he's killing the last of the lords that were at that table. One's trying to crawl away. I think Slave Knight Gale is perfect. I think he deserves to be at S tier. That's his fight was pretty fun. He's got some crazy moves. Um, I like the fact that he's just a crazy backflipping. He's kind of like Guts in a way. He's a little bit of Guts if Guts went a little crazy. I like the skulls that rain down from this boss. Yeah, and the little lightning in the area you fight him in is kind of crazy too. Because I think it kind of represents like like I think he's in the future. I think this is in the future of everything. All of Dark Souls if you light the fire anymore. But yeah, I think he deserves to be at S tier. Vort, I'm gonna put Vort as C. He's not anything crazy. Got a big old butt. He's kind of cool. Like he's just like a regular general kind of dude. And then it's the only thing that's weird is how he crawls on all fours. I know there's a reason for that because I think he's like half monster or something, but it's like he's not anything special. And the second time I ever fought him doing a playthrough of Dark Souls 3, I accidentally summoned somebody that wasn't my friend because I wasn't paying attention, I guess. And I summoned somebody to help me with the boss, and I was like, huh, this guy has like no armor or anything on. I was like, okay, I guess he's really confident that he's gonna beat up Vort. It's like whatever. I summon my friend. We go into the boss room. He runs straight at the boss and just kills him in about, I don't know. I don't even think it was 30 seconds before Vort was dead, which is crazy to me because I'm sure he's supposed to scale with 3 people being in the room. And I think what the guy was using was the demon fist, the fire ones when you spin around in a tornado, then punch the floor and then you do a little fire tornado upwards. Yeah, that guy went crazy. He killed Vort in about 2 seconds, so my second playthrough fighting Vort, I didn't really get much from him. So thank God I had a first playthrough of it. Uh, Cursed, Rotten, Greatwood, stupid fight. You're just popping balls. You're popping pimples off a tree. Nothing crazy. Crystal Sage. Eh, he's no big hat Logan. He's just a phony. He's a big fat phony. But at least he's not generic enemy that we thought of. This one's just creepy too. Cursewalk, Greatwood. Get out of here. The Deacons. Um, yeah, it's just a bunch of dudes. It's not really. There's nothing crazy about it. It's just a bunch of dudes. That's all it is. Alright. The Abyss Watchers. Oh man, I want to put them in A tier because I just love that there was a band of people that came together and not only lit the fire, uh, not as just one person, but as a group of people. Now they failed technically, so that's nothing to be praising. But they all did this because of the influence of Artorias. So if they are in B tier, they're high B tier, or they're low A tier. And you know what? Their moves are super cool. Their weapon is super, like, oh man, just a great sword that does flips and stuff. A little dagger when you dual wield it. I think that's you get the little dagger for like the little spins and like I think there's like 1 or 2 attacks in the combo. Yeah, I think Abyss Watchers deserve to be up here. Let's see here. Wolnir. In concept, I think he's fine. I think he was like some sort of lord, if I remember correctly, that just kind of got consumed by darkness and rotted away. But this fight was just bad. You just go hit him in the wrists. It's nothing special, so yeah, I'm just gonna leave that there. Old Demon King. He wasn't anything crazy. Honestly, I would have won the first time I ever fought him. Well, actually, I mean the old Demon King is kind of interesting because like the Demon Prince is like the last of the demons. He's the last of the king of the demons. So I mean that's technically, they're related in that way. But the princes are, they're a lot tougher of a fight and everything. This is just a guy who's spent at this point. Like he's got nothing else to give. And then when he did that final explosion that I didn't expect him to do, and he killed me and I had to fight him again, yeah, screw you. That sucked. But yeah, I went and fought him again, and when he gives that last little explosion, he's just done. Yeah, I think that he's fun in that way. Or just thinking about him like, oh yeah, he's just the last demon king, and he did everything he could. But and then last but not least, Pontiff Sullivan, easy S tier. I might even put him at front of if no, I'm gonna put Sister Freed in front of him. Pontiff Sullivan is responsible for the dancer, Vort, uh, a lot of the events that happens in Dark Souls 3. He comes from a different world because he hated watching his world go to ruin. He saw potential in a new world, took it over, just was a freaking tyrant, but also just a respected like I guess fighter, but he was definitely not a good person. Like he was a terrible person. Um, but God, he came from a different world and almost ruled over the Dark Souls world. It's crazy how his reign went. Not only that, dude has the coolest looking swords. He has the cool like copy ability, which isn't cool to fight against. Like I'm pretty sure a lot of people got upset and frustrated with that boss. I wouldn't blame you. Having this dude do Kage no Shin no Jutsu, Kagebushin no Jutsu, and just wrecking your face probably isn't fun. But you know what? You know what? I think he belongs in S tier. He is the one of the biggest threats to ever have happened in Dark Souls. That wasn't, Gwyn himself. This guy could have actually have just taken over the whole world with his genius military might and everything. Definitely up there. But yep. Um, let's see here. Now, if we're gonna move some people around, right? I think the only person I might want to move is Lothric. Because maybe he does deserve a little better than that. Lorien, Lothric, the brothers. Um, let's see. If I were to move them, I think I'd probably move them up here. I mean, they did take down the demons. He defeated the demon prince. He just never killed him. Yeah, I think he. Oh man, but then that would kind of put him like. I mean, he's definitely stronger than these guys. Let's see. Oh, you know what? This feels like cheating a little bit. I'm gonna look up his lore. I'm gonna Google. Google, 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 Google. All right, let's see what we got here. Down, 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 down. Bam! Lore. Let's see. Lorien, as the eldest prince, was designated heir to the throne. Ancient brass armor, crown, pattern of flames, blah, 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 blah. Oh, there we go. Led a war against the remnants of the chaos demons, even captured some for slaves. That's not very, that's not making this any better. Faced a demon prince, in which resulted in his greatsword being eternally scorched. Oh yeah, okay. I think I remember that. His armor stained black. I guess. Lothric, instead, as the youngest prince, was designated to become the Lord of Cinders, sacrificed himself in the linking of the first flame to keep the Age of Fire alive. The prince was in fact the hope not only of the entire kingdom, but as a result of the obsession of the royal family and the king to produce a worthy champion. Yep, yep, yep. And I remember they just said no to that. Oh my god. I guess the smaller Lothric brother was hyped up during his reign by the family, saying, "Oh, he's definitely going to be the next, the next one to link the fire. He's gonna be the best." And then he comes out a weak child, just skinny, malnourished, and he never grew out of his baby clothes. That's a weird fact I didn't know. Anyways, oh, Aldia taught them stuff though. That's kind of interesting, right? Okay, yeah. Everything I'm reading about this, it's not really making them any better. Oh well, I think I'm just gonna keep them there. Oh, right. Osiris is their dad. And that's why he's the consumed king. He got consumed by madness because he was trying to have a better heir to the throne and to link the fire and all that stuff, and he went crazy. And that last unborn child in his hand, that never happened, that's what he wanted. Right, right, right. And he tried to transform himself into a dragon, which is why he kind of looks like Seath. Anyways, I think we're good right here. I mean, there's other things about that I'm reading where he put in the ritual to link the flames and he didn't do it. Ringing the bells, awakening. He awoke the Lords of Cinders in the first place. So, Yorm and uh, everybody else who's not Yorm, the other lords. But I guess if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be a character in the game. But yeah, I don't think he does. I don't think he needs to be up any higher than that. So I think this is about it for my tier list. Let me know what you guys think. I feel like I was a little unprepared for this one. Maybe I should have read some people's backstories a little bit. But I I don't think this list would really change anything if I knew like Gale's true backstory, what he represents and everything. I know he represents like the pygmies, like the humans. He's the thing that comes around full circle. He's basically kind of like the lost pygmy in a way. That's all I can remember about his story. I know he has something to do with I think he has something to do with Sister Freed or something like that, right? I don't know. I don't. I think if I learned more about it, what is he gonna do? Go down? Like no, he was the last DLC boss, and he was insane. He was an insane fight. Yeah, no, he wouldn't go down. Sister Freed definitely wouldn't go down. Pontiff, no, not even. Not even close. I don't think he'd go down at all. That dude was crazy. That dude had the moves of a true tyrant. So yeah, I think that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Uh, I hope the Bloodborne one is a little. I'll have a little bit more lore ready to go on that one when I do that next. And yeah, all right. Hope you guys enjoyed in a way, or just decided to use my voice as a distraction from your life. I hope I served that distraction well. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Bye bye.